Okay, I have a little spiel. I've been doing class presentations, and I'll do a little bit of that. My name's Robin. For those who don't know me, this is my 4th year at McGill. I'm going into my 5th. For the 4 years that I've been here, I've been really involved in engineering, more US focused than CEUS focused, but I think it's all very, very relevant. I've been a member of PAL. I was exec for the McGill Engineering Competition. I organized the first networking cocktail for the winners, and that has been used ever since. So that was really, really cool. I'm a MERT winter coordinator right now. If any of you are doing it, I'll see you on Thursday. I was also the big one as an EUS executive. I was the VP Clubs and admin. I ran EUS Council. I worked with Junior Council. I oversaw them and mentored them and helped them through all their events that they were running, which is super cool. And I worked with clubs and design teams. There's over 20 of them, including CSCE, Concrete Canoe, and Bridge Building. So I did a bit of that. For vision, I think I've been listing a couple ideas that I definitely do want to do, but I definitely have more, and I'm way open for suggestions. But the ideas that I have is to revamp the Bridges program. I want it to come back. I want it to last year round. I want it to be very, very relevant to first-year students and upper-year students as well. I'm looking at constitutional amendments. Sorry for those running for internal and for events, Dominique and Marie-Claire, because I kind of want to combine that into one position and bring in a VP external position into our council to do industry speakers, industry tours, and industry dinner, which MAME does, Chess does, and XS does, because it's super successful. It's a good way to meet industry people in a one-on-one basis, so I really, really want to do that. I know we have CSCE, I could talk about that more later. And then the third one, I want to do a design project of some kind to give hands-on experience to first, second years, even 4th years, so that you can get experience in your field, but also put it on your CV, talk to interviewers about it. I think it's really, really good to have. So that's my little spiel that I have. So you have a club tonight if you're going, and if not, vote Monday.
Okay, so John?
Alright, so my name is Jonathan Chan, and I'm a U3 currently on internship in Calgary. Even though I'm not in the school right now, I am the strategist for the McGill Concrete Canoe team and Calgary liaison for the McGill Society of Petroleum Engineers. On top of that, I miss McGill a lot, and I've come back twice. I came back for Frosh and was the OSAP of the year, and I came back for E-Week and was Civil E-Week captain. My platform is really centered around really improving career, social aspects of the CEUS, and I also have some miscellaneous stuff such as revamping the swag sale and moving to electronic payment systems such as tills.
Awesome. So your first question, as candidates who have never been on CEUS Council, what skills and strengths do you have to be a good president for Civil? And we'll start with John.
Okay. So for me, I have a lot of civil experience. Name a bunch of different events: Blues Club, E-Week, Frosh, Banquet. I've done them all. I've also been a captain on Concrete Canoe for the past 2 years, and I was U2 Civilian of the Year last year as well. The second thing is leadership and vision. On Concrete Canoe, I've held the captain's role, and I've done a couple of things to really identify problems before anyone else really noticed them and before they became a problem. So I increased recruitment this year by 20%. I also really formalized the member recognition program, really identifying individuals who were really good on our team this year, and I really found in the media team as well. The last things I go above and beyond, I've maintained good academic standing in my time at McGill for my 3 years, and I've been heavily involved and have won various awards, and I think I have the time management skills, and I have the vision to go above and beyond and actually complete initiatives.
Okay, and Robin?
I've already talked about this in my entry, but I very, very strongly believe it's the biggest resource that I have is that I've been involved in the EUS and I've done so many different things. If you're talking about drinking events, I've helped, as an exec, you run Blues Pub, you're exec in charge, I help with cleanup and running it and all that, so I've run Blues Pub. I'm running pub crawls now, so the drinking events I have covered, I've done that. Industry events I've done for MEC, I was doing a networking cocktail again. For the Conference on Diversity and Engineering, who I'm working with now, I'm working with contacts in the industry, and so I've got the industry stuff as well. But I just have a lot of background and a lot of knowledge that I can use to help support other people in the council. And then that's my second thing that I have. I'm very supportive of the team players that I have. I really, really help JC. If you ever talk to any members of JC, I was always there to answer questions, and I think I really helped them succeed in their events, especially since they were new to McGill. For personal skills that I have, it's like a list on a CV, but like I'm organized, I'm responsible, I get the job done. I really enjoy challenges. I always like like to push myself and like try new things, so that's why I'm running for president. I think I'll do a really good job. So I enjoy being challenged and being pushed to do better, and I think I'll do that for the rest of the council and push them to do better as well. So.
Okay, so second question, what does inclusivity mean to you, and how does this apply to your position? And we'll start with Robin.
Yeah, so inclusivity to me as a personal definition means everyone feels like they're welcome, everyone feels like they have a spot to be in civil, and that they feel like they belong. For events focused of CEUS in general, I think that means applying, being applicable to every member of civil. So there's people who are only focused on academics, so run some academic events that they'd enjoy. There's some people who are focused on industry and careers, so run some career events that they would enjoy. There's people who like to drink, then there we go, we've got the apartment crawls, we've got Blues Pub, there's opportunities to drink there. But there's also people who want to be social and not drink, so I'm definitely open and really do want to run some non-drinking events. I love going out for food, I love food, so going out, just saying, hey guys, Civil Council's going out for food on Wednesday, let's go for wings, 50-cent wings at the brass door, and just like gathering people together and encouraging them to meet each other and feel like they're a part of civil. And then for council-wise, just running CEUS Council, I'm a very personal person. I love hearing about your day. I love talking to you. I love listening to your problems and trying to help you out and solve those problems. So I think I'd be really good in feeling like the members of council are a part of the team and help us succeed as a team. So there we go.
Wonderful. And John?
So inclusivity to me means being part of something, and if elected as president, I'll be essentially leading a team that is representing the civil community. So by doing that, I'm going to make sure that our communications and our events really reach out to everyone in civil. So some important things as well is feedback. If we create a Google form, for example, it's not guaranteed that people are going to respond. So I like to add a little bit of incentive for them, such as like a $25 gift card to one lucky winner. And in terms of an event, inclusivity, I want to maybe include a food crawl, which is something that MAME did this year as well. And the last thing for me is that if I elected president, I'd be the face of civil, and I'm really welcoming. I love meeting other people, and something that I'm prepared for as well.
Okay, and so your third and final question, please explain what you think are the most pressing issues and challenges being faced by the CEUS today, and what will you do to address these issues? And we'll
Sure, so, sorry, am I first?
Yeah, you're first.
Okay. The first thing for me, there's two things. The first one is that I'd like civil to get more involved in the EUS as a whole, and I want to utilize some of the EUS resources. Junior Council is a great resource for U0s and U1s, and I really want to leverage that and piggyback off of that a lot. And there's also a lot of great EUS events, just EUS sports, food pubs, and I really want civil to get more involved in those aspects. The second thing for me is career. Civil, as I mentioned, has one of the lowest internship rates in engineering. Speaking from my own personal experience, this internship has really taught me a lot about what I want in my career, and I want other people to experience that as well. So, contrary to what Robin was saying, I don't think we need to create a VP external role. The CSCE is supposed to function like the CSCE president is supposed to function as that, but that communication has gotten lost over the last few years. And by rebuilding that relationship, I think we can network with the industry and other universities and really build an alumni database. So the other thing I want to do is start a mentoring program that pairs EITs with current students, and it can really help current students understand kind of the struggles that others went through not so long ago. And the last thing for me is tech fair. Civil represents 10% of the engineering community, but you go to tech fair and nobody's looking for civil engineers. So I really want to work with MES to really rebalance the playing field and really give a fair representation to the student body.
Okay, Robin?
Yeah, so for the challenges that CEUS is facing, I feel bad saying this, but the finance fiasco that happened, civil can recover. We've been in the red before. I don't know if that's happening this year, but it has in the past, and we've recovered just fine. That's not a huge issue, but I think building that confidence in the council again, and I think the best way to do that is just be reliable, be organized, have good communication with the students, and really ensure that doesn't happen again. Another thing I want to say for something that I think a lot of people fall into this trap is this trap of tradition, that you kind of just do what the council did last year because it worked and it was good, And it's good because it has worked, but I think it's really important to challenge yourself to think about what more can you do, and are you doing the best that you can to help civil students? I think that's really, really important because once again, you all get in that mindset that like, oh, my responsibilities are apartment crawl, banquet, colloquium, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you have to think, what else can we do? I think Maine did a good job this year in kind of challenging that a bit. Some events went well, some events didn't. That poutine call was so successful. They also endorse it, or not endorse it, when you fund it. Subsidize it, thank you. They subsidize it a bit, which helps. $5 is so cheap, but I think it was a really, really good idea, so I'd like to see more of that. And then lack of communication, I'm just gonna talk about that with the CSCE thing. So the reason I want to do a VP external position is our CSCE president currently, I don't know if anyone knows this, but they sit on council as a voting member of CEUS council. They have voting power and they're supposed to contribute to CEUS. The problem is this year, I was talking to Prashant, the CSCE president only showed up twice to CEUS meetings. Once? Okay. And I think CSE does great things. I've sat on a couple CSE meetings. I really, really love what they do. I think they're great. But the problem is CSE, the president is elected through CSE members, which means you have to pay $10 to be on that council. And not all of civil has a say on who gets elected for CEUS president, and they're in charge of all your external events, which I think is unfair for the rest of the civil population when industry events are really, really important. The idea with a VP external would be the external would sit on CEUS council, but also sit on CSCE. The details would have to be worked out. I 100% know that everything needs to be discussed with incoming and outgoing members of all these committees. But the idea would be VP external would somehow sit on that council and they would be in communication, versus having a CSCE president who would really much rather be a CSCE president, not really go to CEUS council meetings. That's the idea behind it, and I think it's a really good long-term plan for CEUS to work on academic and industry relations.
Okay.
That's it, thank you.
So does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
I think that your ideas on VP external, especially to Robin, VP external very valid and interesting, but I don't understand why you would have to combine the internal and events position, because like I've done events and I've covered like internal events and like vice versa, and I know that it's like really hard to take on these tasks.
Yep, I know.
So
I put it out there as a kind of a discussion topic. I kind of wanted to challenge people and see what they thought of it.
Yeah.
To be honest, looking at the VP internal role, no offense Dominique, I think you'll do great. But all the VP internal's responsibilities is sports, which you can just find someone to be a captain for a sports team and just like let them do their thing. The second one is E-Week, which once again you can just find your E-Week captains and kind of just let them do their thing. And the third one is Blues Pub, which only happens once every semester. So it's very intensive when it has to be planned and it has to happen. The idea is hopefully that the council would come together and help you, but the kind of idea was also colloquium happens in the summer and in the early fall. Blues Pub would happen in between, you'd have banquet at the end. I think it is doable to do, especially if you do have a committee supporting you. But once again, like I'm not just gonna go and be like, this is what we're doing. Like I definitely think we have to discuss it, and I think incoming and outgoing and people who've been on these positions definitely need to talk about it. Because I also understand that you cannot overload your council, and mental health is super important. You don't want to like put so much on a role that everyone else is stressed, right? So that was kind of the logic behind that.
Any other questions?
Yeah, my question is about the career. I know John touched upon that a bit. And I was gonna say like the major flaw in our education in McGill is the transition from undergrad to the job market, and that's been, especially for engineers, you know, it's a hard transition. I was wondering what can you do to like improve that, you know, have like an easy transition, or like because you know a lot of people are invested in design teams and all this, and they put that on their CV. But I know some people who have done design and who have graduated from McGill and they still don't have a job, and like we kind of want to feel valued for what we do in extracurriculars, because I find, okay, I'm in the entrepreneur, and I do it because I like it, but at the same time, I want it to help me, in the future, like, I'm not gonna do 4 years of engineering and not get a job in the end, like, I mean, like, nobody's gonna do that, right? Nobody's gonna go through 4 years and then